If you want the blueprint of how to turn a respected NFL career into a running joke, follow the path of Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe is a 3 time Super Bowl winner. He turned a Hall of Fame NFL career into a high profile career in sports media. He is paid to give his opinion on sports, not on race, not on politics, on sports. When it comes to sports, oftentimes I agree with Shannon Sharpe. The other day, he said that playing alongside Russell Westbrook is the most difficult task of LeBron James's career. And he was right. He's absolutely right. If Russell Westbrook played in the 80s and 90s, he would probably go down as one of the best point guards in the history of the NBA, if not the best point guard. Dude is a walking triple double. In the slower paced NBA of the 80s and 90s, Russell Westbrook, he would have excelled. He would be the fastest player on the court. But in the modern NBA, Russell Westbrook is damn near impossible to play with. He can't shoot. He's tough to get along with. Couldn't get along with Kevin Durant in Oklahoma City. Couldn't get along with James Harden in Houston. My point is, though, Shannon Sharpe often has good takes when it comes to actual sports. Much better than Skip Bayless, captain of the delusional squad. Skip Bayless says things to get a reaction. That's it. When it comes to talking about politics and racial issues, Shannon Sharpe is always on the wrong side. He led the charge last summer in demonizing Drew Brees. He is the FS1 version of Stephen A. Smith. Matter of fact, I'll take it a step further. Shannon Sharpe copied the style of Stephen A. Smith because, like Stephen A., Shannon Sharpe loves to point out all the white privilege going on in the NFL. The NFL, the league made up, what, 65, 70% black players? But they don't have any black owners in the NFL. Now, whose fault is that? Go buy a team. Last I checked, Shannon Sharpe is African American. If he wants a black owner in the NFL, he should gather up investors, raise the capital, and go buy a team. If he wants more black head coaches, he should get a job as an NFL head coach, or at least try. But Shannon Sharpe's not going to do any of that. Like all social justice warriors, Shannon Sharpe likes to complain about myths. He likes to bitch about them. But when it comes to putting in the work and coming up with a solution to the mythical problem, he's nowhere to be found. Wednesday, Nick Sirianni had his usual press conference with the media. The Eagles, they are struggling this season. No one should be surprised by that. The NFL's a passing league. Philadelphia has a quarterback who struggled passing the ball at the college level. Jalen Hurts is a walking disaster. Nick Sirianni inherited a dumpster fire in Philadelphia left over by Doug Peterson. It's not his fault the Eagles suck. He's the man stuck trying to turn dog shit into filet mignon. At his press conference on Wednesday, Nick Sirianni used a somewhat common analogy when describing the Eagles. He compared the roster to a flower in the early stages of its growth. The results just aren't there yet, but you still water the flower every day, fertilize the flower, and over time, the flower roots into the foundation and begins to grow. It was a little bit of a strange analogy to describe an NFL roster, but whatever. Maybe Nick Sirianni is a strange dude. Who the hell knows? What I do know, nothing he said had anything to do with race. Unless, of course, you're Lieutenant Woke Shannon Sharpe. Much like Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharpe can find a racial issue even in the most innocuous of comments. He started off his thrashing of Nick Sirianni by saying, "Everyone knows you don't water plants every day." Appreciate the landscaping advice, Green Thumb, but none of us give a shit about that. Shannon Sharpe proceeded, though. But he wasn't focused on Nick Sirianni's comments at the press conference. No. He wasn't talking about that. Shannon Sharpe was more concerned with how Nick Sirianni got the job in Philadelphia. You see, Nick Sirianni is an evil white man, firmly entrenched in the NFL good old boys club designed to keep minorities out. I guess Shannon Sharpe doesn't know that Nick Sirianni is Italian. But those facts don't matter. Italians, they're not real minorities here in America. They're lumped in with us evil white men. Shannon Sharpe was bitching on Undisputedly Woke that the only reason Nick Sirianni was given the job in Philadelphia was because his skin tone was the same as Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman. They talk alike. They have other similarities. Nick Sirianni was highly recommended by Frank Reich, another evil white man. Sirianni reportedly showed up to the job interview in an Eagles sweatsuit. According to Shannon Sharpe, no black man would get a head coaching job in the NFL dressed like that. Brothers would have to wear a suit. The flawed logic of the dumbass social justice warrior. Let me explain to Shannon Sharpe and his woke brethren who have never held a real job how hiring works. Not just hiring in the NFL, I'm talking about hiring in general. Corporate America, mid-sized business, small business, doesn't matter. Does the most qualified candidate always get the job? No. In most cases, the person getting the job is referred by someone else, someone who's respected by the person doing the hiring. I'll lay out an example for you. Let's say you and we are applying for the same job. We have the same credentials, same level of education, same work experience. We both interview well. If the job has an aptitude or a skills test, we have similar scores. There's a caveat though, little caveat. You worked for 3 years with a former manager at this company. That manager is now working at the job that you're leaving. He puts in a call to the hiring manager, gives you a recommendation. Guess who is going to get that job? You. Not me, you. And it's not racism. It's not favoritism. It's life. It's human nature. Is it wrong? No. It's human nature to rely on familiarity. It's human nature to listen to people you respect. What Shannon Sharpe did, he said the Philadelphia Eagles hired Nick Sirianni based on his race. How many times do we have to dispel this notion? Shannon Sharpe should know this. He played in the NFL for 14 years. When an NFL team is hiring a coach, they care about one thing and one thing only. Can this guy win? That's it. That's the only consideration. Can he win? Can he lead a group of 53 men to a Super Bowl? Nothing else matters. Someone please tell me how anyone could consider the Philadelphia Eagles to be a racist organization. This is the same franchise that pissed off their fan base by drafting Donovan McNabb. This is the same franchise that gave Terrell Owens a second chance after he blew up the locker room in San Francisco. This is the same franchise who revitalized the career of Michael Vick. Michael Vick, the dude who murdered dogs. Some of you who are younger, you might not understand this, but in 2006, Michael Vick was done. It was over. No one ever expected him to play in the NFL ever again. He was broke. People were pissed off, and rightfully so. When the Eagles signed him fresh out of prison, it was not a popular decision. People boycotted games outside the stadium. There was a large contingent of NFL fans who didn't think Michael Vick deserved a second chance in the NFL. Now, to his credit, he turned his life around. Michael Vick is a real redemption story. And that story of redemption, it's not possible without the Philadelphia Eagles. So don't give me this shit about them making hiring decisions based on race. It's bullshit. I didn't hear Shannon Sharpe complaining when the Eagles fired Doug Peterson after last season. Did that have to do with race too? Was Doug Peterson fired because he was white? Where the hell was his white privilege? I thought all us white males had white privilege. I guess Doug Peterson's white privilege ran out. If Shannon Sharpe wants to see a real example of white privilege, it's sitting across the desk from him every morning. Skip Bayless is paid millions of dollars a year to be a dumbass. It doesn't get more white privilege than that. But anyway, let me know what you think. Give me your thoughts on Shannon Sharpe spinning a Nick Sirianni press conference into a racial issue. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.